Welcome to Rebel Base, IGN's weekly Star Wars show. Punch it, Chewie!
Have you seen Twitter this week, Chris?
I've been on a plane, I've been abroad, I've not seen anything.
Sometimes they have Wi-Fi on planes.
Yeah, you have to pay where I sit though, and
you
I'm not
did
doing that.
Well, you might have seen a hashtag Force for Daniel trended. Did you see that?
I'm aware of this.
So this is a Star Wars fan, Daniel Fleetwood. A while back was given 2 months to live, and his dying wish is to see The Force Awakens before he dies. So a lot of people sort of jumped onto this and started, you know, petitioning like Bad Robot and Disney, you know, saying, guys, let's show this dying man Star Wars. And lots of the Star Wars cast have actually got involved with it. John Boyega's retweeted it, Mark Hamill's getting behind it. And it kind of like, I've been following their like Twitter thing since they were allowed back on Twitter, because there was a while where Boyega and Daisy Ridley had to have their Instagram and Twitter accounts deleted. Obviously, they probably just couldn't be trusted to be online. But since they've been back online, like some of the stuff that they post up, it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, and they just are the best. And then, you know, it just sort of, for me, it's really awesome that they're getting involved in Daniel Fleetwood's things, and everyone should definitely get involved in it, because it'd be amazing if the first person to see Star Wars outside of that was Daniel Fleetwood.
Yeah, we're waiting for feedback, aren't we, from the studio? I want to hear something from the director or the producers or something.
There's absolutely no way they can't make it happen, surely.
And yeah, I agree.
Because J.J. Abrams did it for a fan who really wanted to see Into Darkness.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, if I was a fan that was about to die and then I was shown Into Darkness, I'd be like,
yeah,
there you go. Let's end it early. But he got to see it, so hopefully JJ will then get to see it. Like, I mean, it is Star Wars. This is a bit of a different beast, and can you imagine if he then just, you know, went on
leaked the whole thing? Daniel, do not do that.
Yeah, Daniel, don't do that. If we get behind you and you don't do it. But like some of their other stuff that they do on social media, like Mark Hamill pretty much replies to every single person that tweets him.
Yeah.
Especially like over the weekend was Halloween as well, so loads of people were tweeting them like their costumes and things, and like they're just replying and getting involved and things like that. And actually Daisy Ridley and John Boyega, like together on social media, hilarious. Like John Boyega posted up a picture on his Instagram. He just found a load of selfies that Daisy Ridley had taken on the sly on his phone, and he's just like, Daisy, why is my phone full of selfies of you and stuff like that? And like he posted that like publicly.
Yeah, and they were encouraging people to send in their Halloween photos.
Yeah. Because
John tweeted, if you don't send me a picture, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And then was retweeting all the little cute kids dressed as Finn.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
He posted up a really good photo as well of him and J.J. Abrams and Harrison Ford, and like the conversation that ensued was just like, Harrison, this means we were best friends, right? And Harrison Ford goes, no. Absolutely not.
I wonder if they're being monitored though for what they say. I'm sure they've been given like lessons as to what they can and can't say, like sports stars do these days. It seems very natural, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, they can't believe their luck that they're in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
But what you were saying, I think the thing that's great about Mark Hamill is that he seems more excited than anyone.
Yeah.
Like he's just chuffed to be Luke Skywalker again. I guess maybe because he hasn't been recognised for 20 years. But like he...
No, I don't know. Like, I guess
He just seems very, very happy to be back in that place, and that's really endearing as well.
That is really good.
Because I feel like I'm as excited as he is to see him as Luke Skywalker again.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everyone's excited to see him at the moment because nobody has seen him.
No.
But yeah, some of the stuff that they've been posting is really, really good. Maybe, as you say, they're being monitored, and like, I wonder how it's going to like ramp up closer to the time. If they're going to be like, right, I guess after a while they're going to be able to say whatever they want. Yeah, it's interesting.
I like that John Boyega tweet he did in April though. It's still my favourite one, where he does an impression of his dad in the tweet saying, "Everyone leave their plates in the sink for John to wash, since he won't tell us anything about Force Awakens." I just thought that was just very natural and real, like how it would be in a real family.
So I was watching The Phantom Menace the other day for research purposes, obviously, not for funds. And in the background, my girlfriend noticed Warwick Davis.
Yeah.
It's just in the background, pretty much dressed up as Willow.
Yeah, I mean, are you talking about during the pod race?
Yes. I'd never noticed that before. Maybe because I've just washed all of Phantom Menace completely out of my head a little bit.
I think it really sticks out. See, whenever I see it, it takes me out of the film.
When I watched it then, I was just like, oh yeah, it definitely does. But at the time, like, I didn't know that was sort of him there, because obviously I knew he was in Star Wars and things like that. And like, there's a video of him on the set, I think, of Force Awakens as well. So he's still like heavily involved in that world. But I was kind of like, oh yeah, especially because he's dressed up as Willow in there, pretty much, which I thought was really, really funny. But I started sort of looking around, going, you know, what other like really big Star Wars cameos are there that maybe people aren't fully aware of? And some really, really good ones. Some of them that I kind of already knew, but there was others I was kind of surprised to see. So the first one, Sofia Coppola as Sasha in Episode 1.
That is the one you've got here that actually surprised me.
Okay, yeah. That's good.
I thought I knew my stuff, but
Yeah.
that was a real shocker. I had no idea that she was in it.
Yeah, she appears briefly in episode 1 as one of Padme's handmaidens.
And she doesn't spoil it in the way that she spoiled The Godfather 3, so that's a relief.
Who else have we got?
Rose Byrne
Yeah.
as Dorme.
Also playing another one of the handmaidens. The
Yeah,
handmaidens get quite a lot
episode
of time.
And Keira Knightley. That's a big, quite famous one.
Yes, that's what I thought. So that one, that's the one I kind of always knew. But then I was talking to my girlfriend who's a massive Star Wars fan. And she didn't know that Keira Knightley plays Padme's decoy in it. But if you look at it, she really looks like Natalie Portman.
Yeah, I mean, she wasn't Keira Knightley at the time.
No,
so
yeah.
It was just, oh, that girl's really pretty.
Yeah.
She's like as pretty as Natalie Portman. And then she became famous, and then it was only after a while that people kind of put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. This is one of my favourite ones. Ralph Brown as Rick O'Leary in episode 1.
Ralph Brown gets around a little bit, actually. He's in a lot of things, because he's kind of like a chameleon.
Yeah.
But I guess best known for With Nell and I.
Yes, or Wayne's World 2, or season 1, episode 5 of Jonathan Creek, No Trace of Tracy.
Yeah, that's what immediately sprung to mind.
It's him from Jonathan Creek. Yes, it is. There he is. This is a good one, though.
Joel Edgerton.
Yeah, so that
Yes.
kind of ties into what you were saying about it being shot, episode 2 and 3 being shot a lot in Australia.
Yeah, and that was the first time I was really aware of him as an actor.
Yeah, so he plays Uncle Owen in now, which is pretty cool. This is a really good one, which I didn't know till I started researching it. John Ratzenberger, Cliff from Cheers and all of the Pixar movies.
Yeah.
He plays Major Bren Derlin in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
So he just casually pops up as a rebel commander.
Another guy who pops up in a lot of things in
Yes,
the 80s and
definitely,
90s, though. He's kind of he's like a solid character actor who would
Yeah.
just... unless you recognised him as Cliff and then it takes you out of the movie again.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what happened with Warwick Davis's one.
You've got Julian Glover here.
Yeah.
Is that because he's in Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Because I don't watch Game of Thrones.
And this is one that I was like, as soon as I saw him, it looks nothing like him.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fun to know that he's in it. But one that I omitted from this, because it was too similar to this one, which I know you probably like, is Mr. Bronson.
Yes.
But that's kind of not really a cameo, so...
Mr. Bronson, terrifying in Grange Hill
Yeah.
and quite frightening in Star Wars as
Yes,
well.
he is, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a really good death scene as well in Star Wars.
I'd forgotten this one you've got down here, though. Dominic West in episode 1.
Yeah. He plays, it's a tiny, tiny role as a guard who has one line who says, "The boy is here to see Padme." I couldn't find, this is how bad it is, I couldn't find a high-res photo of him. So there he is in the hour.
I haven't seen you done that. That's really
Yeah,
funny.
That's not him in Phantom Menace, that's him in the hour, which is really good.
But looking through these are all people who actually became famous after
Yeah.
they did them. So they're cameos, but I guess they're not like cameos where they were brought in to play a small role.
I don't know if you could say that for Ralph Brown.
Ralph Brown.
Yeah.
We want the guy from With Nell and I. This will put us through the $1 billion mark.
Well, maybe George Lucas was watching the Jonathan Creek box set and he was like, he's really good. Let's get him.
Speaking of George Lucas,
He is in it as Notlovsky Papanoida, big blue guy. Looks absolutely ridiculous.
He's behind you.
In episode 3, yeah.
he looks a bit like Ricky Gervais there. The way he's doing that look.
Somebody said he looks like Orson Welles in The Muppets. He looks about as happy as that.
I got some other ones actually
Okay.
that you didn't have on your list. Again, not famous. George Lucas's entire extended family has
they're all
cameos
in
in the film. Like everyone, there's so many Lucases that are in the movie.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of Hamills and this and that. So I
Yeah.
think they've all got their families in them. And you mentioned Warwick Davis. There's quite a few people that play multiple roles.
Okay.
So Anthony Daniels played.
Yeah, he's in it,
Yeah, a character called Daniel Fatoni.
Yeah.
I think it was a lot of the people that got covered up, so couldn't be seen, and so they
Yeah.
wanted to give them a moment.
Jeremy Bulloch as well. He appears in it later on, without his Boba Fett stuff on.
Twice.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's in Empire playing a character called Lieutenant Shekel.
Okay.
So that was the first time we saw him. But then he
Yeah.
plays in Revenge of the Sith, a player called Jeremock.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he's actually a double. Well, he's played 3 characters in the Star Wars universe.
And his, I think, twin brother is in Star Wars as well. Jeremy Bulloch has a twin brother who appears in Star Wars as one of the just rebel commanders.
Now that I did not know.
Yeah, and he looks almost exactly like him. But can you imagine how gutted you would be? Because he's just a bit part actor. They were both bit part actors who just turned up and they'd be like, yeah, you're going to be this bounty hunter thing. You're going to be the rebel commander. Oh, commander, amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
We're like, no, the Boba Fett, mate. He's made an entire living out of that.
Yeah, well, I've interviewed him, and he couldn't believe his luck. he still can't quite believe that it's this cult character. I don't think he
Yeah.
still quite understands. His kid went to my school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, imagine that, your dad's Boba Fett.
Yeah. I queued up for, I reckon, 6 hours to get his autograph at a Star Wars convention when I was like 12. There's no like amusing thing where I turned up and he was a dick. He was just really sweet and really nice.
He's really nice, yeah. He kept. I told him about that connection. He was like, "Oh, I'll give him your phone number." I kept telling him I didn't know the kid. The kid was like 5 years older than me. He's like, "No, I'll put you in touch." No, but he did sign my helmet.
Nice.
Ahmed Best.
Oh, what does he appear as?
He plays a character called Ahmed Bech. Ahmed Best, who of course is Jar Jar Binks, in case you don't know your annoying Star Wars history.
He's just making the names of it because I think like Ralph McQuarrie appears at one point and his name is like Core McQuarrie. Just like he's making out as he goes
everyone
along.
behind the scenes, the guys who did the sound, the producers, every one of them gets a role. Then a couple. There's one that's rumoured and I think is true. The USS Enterprise.
Okay.
Apparently appears in the background in one of the prequels.
Oh, that's good.
But probably the best one is E.T.
Yeah, E.T. and Phantom Menace.
In
that
the
is
Senate.
a really good one. Yeah.
That is the very best That's the best cameo you can get.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
Joe Johnson, the director, appears in a bunch, but I reckon that was just because he was down on the day. You know, like just a friend visiting another friend, be like, "No, stick that on, mate."
No, well, he designed a lot of.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
He
I didn't know that.
No, he was on Star Wars right from the start. He designed some of the best things in Star Wars.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, we owe a lot of the look of Star Wars to him, literally to him.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
He's one of the most important players in that story.
That's awesome. I thought maybe he was just like on the day and just like come to visit his mate. No, get a Stormtrooper uniform on. Now you're in that. So that's really good ones. I really like those.
That was fun, wasn't it?
Yes. Did we miss any out though?
Probably.
Obviously, you're going to let us know. Rebelbase@ign.com. But for everything else Star Wars, stay right here on IGN.